I got it on video because I was going to do an update video for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there videoing it. Then all of a sudden, a blacked out SUV, and I've got a video of it, pulls right in behind me, blocks the entrance, and just stares at me. Is the Men in Black trying to block out the Squatch watchers? They've showed up at our... So we are back after a another little 2-week break, but we're still on this. The podcast still in full swing. Let's cut to the chase.
Yes.
Everybody knows our weeks were great. We're still here. God bless us with another day. This is Squatch Watchers, and you're listening to the Squatch Watchers podcast. I don't even know if we got to do that because you're on our channel. You know where it's coming from.
And you can always go to Squatch.
Oh, yeah. Squatch Watchers podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah, Squatch Watchers podcast at gmail.com. I did not get tongue-tied doing it that time.
No.
So.
Dude, so I told you this week, I just want to get to the kind of the Men in Black thing.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Because, your experience is kind of spooky.
You got a video to prove it.
Yep. And, it's not the first time that we have experienced this. But it is certainly the most recent. And, blatant.
Yeah. Yeah. So everyone at home, if you didn't watch our last house call video, it wasn't really a house call. It was a local government official who drives back and forth to Charlotte. He goes and runs the trail every morning, every 3 days, 3 days a week, over in Conover, North Carolina, at the Lyle Creek Greenway. Well, we did an investigation on it, tried to cover his voice the best we could. I even dubbed over it to try to get another voice in the background, kind of talking thing. But, so, we do the investigation there. We release the video within 2 days. You can tell them what happened, and then I'll tell them what happened.
So, all of a sudden, the video hits the air, and then Facebook is full of, hey, Lyle Creek Parkway is temporarily shut down.
Yeah,
due to
the day after, within 10 hours.
Due to bees.
Yeah, a swarm of giant bees.
And that's what it said, giant bees now. I can only think that it could be Japanese hornets that they were referring to, if that was what they were referring to. But we did talk about, they said they were using dogs. They had dogs down there.
Yeah, the cadaver dogs or whatever, yeah.
But I did do some research, and they do use dogs to find bees' nests.
They also use them to find Bigfoot.
I was going to say, I'm just putting it out there. I don't want anybody to think we're silly or stupid, but, they had dogs down at the parkway.
Yeah.
The next day after the video drops.
Yeah.
And it's just...
This is all within 2 days.
What a coincidence.
Yes. So the next morning I get up for work. I'm like, I got to drive over and see if this is true. This is probably some people clowning with us.
Right here.
Everyone, if we come up missing now you know why. And this is all jokes aside. I've got it on video. I was pulling up the video just to give an update for our guest to show him hey, this is closed down because he's never going back there again. If something jumped off the cliff, ran down in front of him, and crossed the road. And, I pull in, I'm videoing the signs, and I'll throw the video up as I'm talking about it or right after I talk about it. I got it on video because I was going to do an update video for us. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there videoing it, then all of a sudden a blacked out SUV, and I've got a video of it, pulls right in behind me, blocks the entrance, and just stares at me. Is the Men in Black trying to block out the Squatch watchers? They've showed up at our last location. We try to go here to do this, a good deed for someone. They shut the trail down for killer bees. And I pray for the family if there really is killer bees out there. Prayers to you. I don't want to.
Yeah, we don't know. So.
I don't want to be the next AJ. Well, you know who I'm talking about. Who bashes something, gets sued. Yeah. But, it kind of blew my mind. So I was kind of videoing over my shoulder. And then when I was pulling out, you could barely see through their front window. But you could tell it like they were looking at me as I went out and I pulled out and I got out of there. Maybe they didn't recognize me in my truck or they know us now. And just a coincidence. We went and done the investigation. Now we're blocked out. Just an update for everyone. The park is closed. Literally the week after we did the investigation for Bigfoot. Pretty crazy. Lyle Creek Greenway temporarily closed due to hornets and wasp presence. No sign when we were up here, but this could be true or it could just be a coincidence, that Bigfoot may have the hornets. I don't know. I'm kind of speechless. It's kind of cool. I've sent this to guys. Prayers, if it is true, prayers for the people that did get stung by the bees. If it is true, we just find it kind of crazy that The park is now shut down. The greenway, the entrance, and you're not allowed to go in immediately following the Bigfoot eyewitness account we did last week. He saw the Bigfoot jump down through the trail, and now it's shut down. Huh. I don't know how this is going to look. It's probably all over the place, but let us know what you think. Drop a comment, and we'll talk about this on the podcast coming up pretty soon. Just a quick update. Lyle Creek is now shut down after the Bigfoot sighting and Bigfoot investigation we had last week here. Could the men in black have something to do with this? Could the government? Is it really hornets and wasps? Who knows? If it is, prayers to the family that was swarmed by the giant hornets. It's crazy. Again. So as I'm leaving, a SUV pulls up and stares at me, just so y'all know, and I am still here at the Greenway. So this is pretty crazy. I'll just try to get this. Just think it's kind of crazy. And the men in black rolled up in a black SUV.
They are back.
They are back.
They are back. I mean,
now we can't go there. It's still up.
Oh, really? It's still closed?
Yep, still closed.
Wow. Well, we had a portion of our I'm trying to come up with a different terminology. Our research land, where we do a lot of our research at. For a year and a half, I mean, there was one little small area we couldn't go on a trail because of Japanese hornets. And, it was a ground, either ground or if they were in a hollow tree or something. But, I mean, you get real close and they would let you know quickly, hey, you're not welcome here. So we would just go the other way and walk around, a little longer walk, but, they get stung. And back to the men in black, the real thing, I can remember back on the old property, and us meeting up top, kind of getting our bearings together, and then, just the big black SUV just pulls up completely blacked out and just sits there.
Yep.
I mean, no doors are opening there. I mean, it's just
stares.
Just sits there.
And the odds of them, yeah.
Yeah. So, this, we've had people try to get when we had our little television show years ago on WHKY TV 14. Shout out to that group.
Yep.
They were trying to get us off that. They were trying to shut us down there.
Yep.
Because we were telling too much of the truth.
Yep.
So,
And we're not there no more. I'm telling y'all, it was just weird. And the men in black, I think, is real. That's proof of it. I videoed them. As I've got it on video, so we're going to get it out here maybe before they... You don't never know. I've heard of coincidences like that. The guy that filmed the giant on the mountain, now he's missing.
Mm-hmm. The Kandahar giant? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, something like that.
Well, the Kandahar giant, but the one on the mountain, you're right. I forgot about that.
He videoed it and went missing.
Yeah,
so I don't... And everyone at home, we're not... And people that were local, government, whatever... We're not guaranteed that was even a Sasquatch over there. We just did an investigation and put it out there. Now it's shut down.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of proof that it may be there. But what if they have a tracker on one and there you go? But anyway.
Well, you get it. I'll throw us out there. There's no such thing as mountain lions in the state of North Carolina.
There was one dead on the interstate the other day.
They have trackers on them though, and you can go to the game warden site and they're tracking mountain lions. So, we've got one local that we've run into once or twice. So.
Yeah, we have talked about this video in the past.
Yes.
But I know you brought it back to attention because I looked at it a while back, but we never had a podcast to really get into it to dissect it. But can you tell us about it, why it's playing, or we can throw it, I can screen record it without the sound because we don't want to get copyright strikes. But
I've got it muted.
Okay.
So that way nobody can hear anything. The short of the week for me, guys, there's tons of Bigfoot stuff out there. This is one of the more very compelling. I don't believe it. It's a hoax of any kind. These people are in Minnesota. I can tell you that. And they're celebrating Christmas, and there's snow on the ground, and they're just filming the Christmas morning festivities. And I'm gonna push play for this so Taylor can see what's going on here.
So everyone that's just listening, may be listening to us at work. They're having a Christmas dinner. They're running outside because I think someone may have seen something outside. They're filming their cars. There's snow on the ground. They're panning around. Okay, they're starting to pan and look. They must be hearing something.
Yeah, this video's a little busy because they haven't locked in yet, and then here in just a second, they're fixing to lock in on something on the edge of the wood line.
Oh, there it is. It's walking. It just walked from left to right. Oh, right to left.
It's not one of these, you glimpse it and it's over with. No, you're going to get to see it in all its glory.
Okay, so that was a good shot right there, left to right.
They actually send people back.
Does
in
it
the
make any
house,
sounds or anything?
then
There goes the dog
the
running
dog
after
goes out and runs after this thing, and I don't believe the dog gets too awfully far here before he'll stop here at the edge of the wood lines in a moment.
Oh, here he comes back. The little dog syndrome. Syndrome.
But I believe these people have filmed a legit Bigfoot.
Oh yeah.
In Minnesota.
People at home, let us know. In the video, the Bigfoot don't make any grunts or anything, right? It just kind of walks.
No, if they were a little closer, I'm sure you could hear it crunching snow.
Yeah.
But
that was it.
Yeah, I think that's the end of it right there.
Oh no, it just kind of lagged. Okay, they're getting closer. Which I can chop it up to speed it up for people.
Yeah, we'll have to, because I mean, once they get, kudos for these guys. They've seen something and they want to know more, and like us, they've got the courage enough to take the camera and walk closer and see if they can, zoom in on this thing.
Yeah.
And I believe they get some very compelling shots.
There we go.
So, yeah, of course, you got the dog has come back now, and he's barking.
Okay, they're still panning. It's kind of focused in on something right now. Okay, they're zooming in.
You'll see here in a minute he walks that wood line.
Still walking, still kind of hiding. They're panning, looking for it. It's kind of hard to see stuff like that because we've been 5 foot from each other and can't see each other.
Yep.
Come on, Harry.
Great movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely got to chop this one up and make it a short.
Yeah.
I told you it's a long video.
Hey, that's good for the people because they're watching this too and they're trying to look.
When you lock in on it here in a second, and when he walks the wood line.
Is he walking it now?
You'll see here in a second.
Just how black this figure is. And then you got to think this was filmed a few years
back. If it wasn't
back.
for the snow, they wouldn't have been able to see it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, because it would have just blended into everything. Because of the snow and it's highlighted a lot of the woodland area, they can see this figure blacking out the snow, and they're going, holy, what is that up in the tree line?
Yeah.
So.
Dang, they are terrified right now. Like, just looking, like, they are really investigating.
They got their kids. There's small kids there. All the wives are there. And they're clearly out in the middle of nowhere, okay?
Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
Yep, there you go. Yep, clear as day.
Holy cow, everyone at home.
That is a spectacular shot. I'm jealous because we don't have that footage.
Yes. Wow. Okay, and they're getting their butts back inside now. Yeah.
So now it's
so everyone at home, the very beginning, and then I can trim that up so we're not just sitting there staring a while. Yeah. But that is great. So rank it. Tell us what you think. I'm always the bad guy.
Of all the shorts that I see, and there's one that's out there that I thought was compelling till I looked at it and I thought, nah, it's a fake. These guys, they got me. They put a bowl down and this Bigfoot comes up to eat food, and at first you're thinking, oh wow, and then you realize the arms are prosthetic, and it's really, anyway, it makes me mad when I hate to get got. This is a 10 for me. This is a legit Bigfoot sighting. It's 100% real. Makes me want to go to Minnesota and look his family up and say, hey man, we want to camp out in your backyard and do a little bit of investigation for a weekend.
Please.
So
I don't care if it was a 3-year-old video or whatever. I guess it is.
It's 10 years. It's
because
10-year video.
Yes, because that's whenever you first showed it to me. Wow.
So you got to be thinking. We're still hung on a picture that's.
Oh yeah.
What, 20 years old.
Yeah, and we can touch on that after. Yeah, because you've got a theory on the 2 trail cam pictures that I talked about in the solo video last week or whatever.
I have an opinion on that. So.
Okay, well let's get into that one.
All right.
I wanted everyone's take on that last week, but I tried to just get something out quick for the people just so they could see that. Wow, that was a hot topic. Give us your opinion on what you think the 2 trail cam photos were from the last week.
So the previous podcast you did, which I thought was excellent. Thank you for doing a solo while recovering from COVID and trying to get everybody's yards caught up from torrential rains for 3 weeks straight. And anyhow,
a heartbreak hotel.
Yeah, boy, I'm telling you, it has been busy. But so I sit down the other night and I really looked at the picture and I was listening to the podcast. And there's too many coincidentals about the new one that has popped up out there versus our fuzzy one. And the original picture we have, and Taylor can throw it up here again, it's really blurry. Keep in mind, we were taking a picture of a picture, okay? So it was not the best thing to begin with, and it was even more fuzzy by the time we got our copy of it. And the sad part about it is these people, it was, the technology when we got a hold of this, 8 years ago?
Yeah, at least 8 years ago.
They were using trail cams that were 20 years old 28 years ago, okay? So, I mean, first generation digitals, things of that nature.
Yeah. Old school.
They downloaded the
at Walmart.
They downloaded it on a computer or laptop. They erased the digital files from the SD card, which is my big thing. And they didn't even look at it. They were just, they were deer hunters. And the timestamp on this thing just happens to coincide with us being there. We believe the very same day this picture was taken. Manipulate it for the viewers at home.
Yeah.
You can see the pads of the feet and how the foot is stepping up. You can see the second foot, and you can see partial pads of the feet, which is incredible. You can see the outline, the muscular outline of the legs and the buttocks. And you can start to see the shoulder defined, kind of a clenched fist. Those are some very striking details that this picture just... The one that the gentleman gave to us to investigate was fantastic. So now this new one comes out.
Oddly familiar.
And when you start looking at the way it is stepping, the pads of the feet and how close they are together, the outline of the legs, the buttocks, it appears it is an AI version, cleaned up version of our picture. Now, our picture is a loner. It was given to us by the people who own the property of the area that we were investigating the night they took the picture.
Yeah.
It's incredible that, we gave chase to a Bigfoot. We have thermal video footage that we can't get our hands on that the Bigfoot Bob's got. And, then like 8 months, 9 months later, these people come forward through Rex and say, hey, we want y'all to look at something. And we drive. Brother, when y'all get into Kaiser, North Carolina.
Oh, my gosh. Then we got hit by that parade.
In the middle of nowhere. Okay? And then, do you remember when we were filming and we looked and says, what is that running at the edge of the field? Yes! There was a wolf running through the property the day we were there investigating.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we just have so much incredible luck when we're around different things. But I believe it's an AI-generated photo of our original fuzzy photo, if you will. So,
yeah. They at least gave it credit. That was in North Carolina.
Yeah. Well, I believe that it's our North Carolina picture.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they should
It's pretty
give us
much
credit.
edited how we describe our picture of pointing stuff out. It's like, if you could turn our picture into, like, seeing what we're pointing out to people, that would be it. And ours is 9 years before that one. Almost. Yeah. So, yeah, I think so also.
We get knocked off a lot. You know that?
A lot.
So, but anyway.
Let's do a weird rent free. It don't have to be about Bigfoot. This whole episode's been about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Let's just do something crazy that's been rent free in your head, like something supernatural. I got something that's crazy, kinda.
Well, you go ahead because I've got one for you to follow up on one that we've been talking about for 2 months now.
Okay. Did I ever tell you the story about how me and Paige got together?
Sort of. I know
My
most of it.
my aunt.
Oh, now, yeah. So go ahead.
I just want to blow some people's minds real quick. We talk about Bigfoot, but let's get to how crazy God works and how good like this testimony is. Because I got to talk about Jesus every once in a while on here. Every episode, that's cool with me. So I was in a relationship. You remember, there's videos you can look
Not
back
a
where I
very
was
good one
drinking a lot.
Yeah.
I was on a year streak of drinking every night, going to bars, going to concerts nonstop. And so we had went to New Jersey. The person I was with had went to New Jersey and went to this rock concert, talking heavy metal, screaming. And we came back. Well, I stayed the night. Got a phone call the next morning. My mom's screaming, saying, "Hey, your brother, they found him in his bedroom. They're going to try to get him back to life." If they found somebody, you know, in my head, I'm like, okay, he's probably already gone, but my mom's slipping out. So I get in my car, I beeline back. Long story short, my brother passed away, and my mom got a phone call from my aunt. And my aunt was like, I don't know why, but Taylor's on my mind. And the girl he's with now is going to change, and the girl that sits beside of him at the funeral is going to be the one he marries and bears kids with. I was like, wow, this girl's, so we're probably going to be done drinking, all this. So what's crazy is I went back, stayed the night, and never heard, like left, never heard from that one again, didn't show up to the funeral.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Not a very good
this
person.
is weird. So I didn't show up to the funeral. And then Paige was at the funeral. And so Paige says, hey, my parents are leaving. Is it cool if I stick around here and go to the funeral with you? I was like, well, you can't ride with me to like the main end funeral. But so still never heard from the person. Still to this day, never heard from them. Godsend. But I think, and this is just for people at home that struggle with death, with losing people, that don't get why, but you will get why here in a second. So Paige sat beside of me at the funeral, and my aunt's super Christian. Like she's just a prophecy. She can see things. God puts it on her. Me and Paige have been together ever since. We're married now and have a baby girl, Riley. But what I'm saying is God takes people sometimes, and you don't get it at the time. But I was going down a bad trail that was going to lead to trying something else. I know for sure because it was about to try something else.
Yep. We would call that Dark Taylor.
Yeah, and I think God took my older brother to save my mom from losing two sons. But he had just got saved and baptized, but he had an addiction that to where
Very sad.
you couldn't beat it. It was like a demon. He'd got saved, baptized, had his clothes out for church for the next morning, but he took the wrong thing and he passed away with drugs. So anyone that's battled drugs, get help. I know it's tough, but get help and pray for those that do it. But if you ever wonder, why did God take this person? Why? Sit and think and look at stuff that goes on around you. There's something happening that gets the family needs to calm down. Like that just always stuck in my mind. Like
No, yeah.
it was prophesied to me. But girl I'm with now is going to change. The girl I'm with at the funeral, that sits beside me at the funeral, is going to, okay, me and her are probably going to get married. This is weird. But no, it was, she was getting out of my life. God took her out of my life and my brother to save me, to give my mom a grandkid and a daughter-in-law. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and so you guys were celebrating. Because your brother died right at your birthday.
Yeah,
you know, and y'all had already made plans, and so we met at this restaurant, and we're trying to celebrate.
Yeah.
A happy. Trying to remember everybody. In a good light. And put on a good face, and show our brother we love him. We were really happy. First time I met Paige, and so I looked at Hillary, and I told Hillary, I said he'll marry her.
That's what's crazy. You said that night. I remember. He's gonna marry her.
I said he'll marry her.
Yeah.
And that was the end of that. And
we've been together ever since.
Yep,
it was Godsend.
I tried to talk him out of it. No,
but it was Godsend. And I know Paige hates me talking about the past, but God put us together. We grew up in church together, and then bam, there she was. And her sister just had to have a band thing, and her parents had to leave. She didn't have a ride home, and she stayed to be there. So I thought that was crazy. We have a little girl now, and but my aunt predicted that. So shout out to her, and her husband's the one that watches us all the time that didn't realize it was me. But yeah, just something crazy rent free in my head. But take it over, brother.
Rent free in my head. Since I have this certain artifact in my house that was given to me out of sheer love and admiration from my two best friends in the whole wide world. And of course, now Tim, you know I love you too, and you're one of my best friends too. I got 3 best friends.
I seen him first.
Yeah, so but I had a nightmare. I mean, and they're so real.
I had 2 nightmares. That was in my house.
I woke up this morning, and I mean, we had a gentleman at work that I was dreaming I was at work, and it was in the warehouse, and he wrecked the forklift, and he had broke pieces off of an industrial lift, and he was broken in ways that he shouldn't be alive, but yet he was up walking around. I'm trying to help him. I'm trying to get help 911, and trying to
You're still
put
having
pieces
bad
back
dreams.
together on him. Yeah, I'm having really bad nightmares. So we believe that we truly have a haunted artifact in our home. And we keep it under lock and key. It's in a safe where no one can get to it, but it doesn't make a difference. So Zach Bagans, we may need you.
We'll tell you. So I'm going to tell him what it is.
Okay.
Because it might get Zach Bagans' attention, but this is legit, people. So David's a big Elvis fan. I've been on a huge Elvis kick, but David, he's a little older than me, so he's been around Elvis longer than me. Of course, he is a bigger fan than me.
Elvis, right above us.
Yeah, Elvis. I mean, so we like to say we're the Elvis group of Bigfoot. Like, everybody hates us at first, but we're finally growing on people. Like, we're the new school, man. We're the new school of it. But so it's a Elvis autograph certified by Beckett Authentication, graded by the top grade autograph graders in the world. People that do cards, you know what this is. Sports memorabilia, you know what it is. I'm battling heartburn. But anyway, so I bought this. It's a pretty penny. So if he does decide to get rid of it, you're going to have to pay for it. And everybody that knows, so Elvis Presley autograph. Signed in pre-1957, 1955. He put "Love You, Elvis Presley." He used to sign them on the back of the pictures because he said that the old rumor was he was too pretty to write on. So he'd sign the back of his pictures, "Love You, Elvis." So he stopped signing "Love You, Elvis" when Tom Parker joined. He's like, you can't be doing that. So he changed it to "Yours, Elvis" or whatever. But anyway, the backstory of why I think this item would be haunted, for the little girl that got it or the guy that got it, you met the superstar of the world back then, Elvis Presley, the pop culture, the biggest rock and roll star ever to me and you. Why would this not be your prized possession? You would be attached to it until the day you die. So this is a cut autograph. So apparently the big picture got damaged, so they cut around it, and there's this Elvis autograph. It's about this big. I'll flash a picture up. So that's why we think it's haunted. And we had 2 bad dreams when it was in my house before we give it to you. And Paige was like, "What the heck was that?" I said, "When I was using the bathroom this morning, so like something poked me." Is this spirit mad that we've got it? I think it's a friendly spirit. It's just, I don't know.
I have had.
Why do you have my autograph?
I have had downright, nightmares. I have vivid dreams, and I dream in color. Okay, and I've been trying to save Bubby from getting eaten by sharks, and the shark is eating me, and I'm being munched while I'm throwing Bubby, trying to make it to the land out of the water.
See, Paige's teeth were rotting out and falling out and stuff.
I've had, when I say horrific dreams, I mean horrific. And I've always dreamed vivid, but most of mine are adventurous. I'm always going on special investigation or something with Leroy Jethro Gibbs from NCIS, or, some kind of James Bond, something or other. Or my best ones are, tornadoes are always out to get me.
Not me.
But these have been pretty rough. And I have not had one dream. My dad comes and visits me in my dreams. I have not had one dream of him since it's come in the house.
So, with that being said, we're probably going to end up auctioning this thing off for you or something.
Maybe. I don't know. We're undecided.
I'm still paying on the thing. It's
expensive, guys.
It's expensive, but anybody that wants to put anybody bigger that we can trust, Zach Bagans, anybody like that, we know you like this stuff. If you want to try this thing out one day, I'm sure David will let you stay the night with it. We'll sign a contract
we'll figure something out.
And I guarantee you, I put money on it. You will have terrible dreams that night. If you're not even a dreamer, you will have dreams with this thing, or you will feel very weird. And this is something that needs to be in a haunted museum. We've got it.
I will say something, and I'm not going to expound on it. This is not meant to sound. I'm not joking about Zach Bagan whatsoever, but I've already been touched by him once before. Not personally, through his productions, and when I mean touched, guys, I mean reached out and physically touched. and it took me over 4 years to get over it, and I'm still suffering residuals, and I can't tell everybody about it. I talked to Zach. I sent Zach a letter. He never responded. I'm not bashing him, I'm not whatsoever, because he gets a lot of crazy stuff out there. But I won't talk about it because I don't want people doing it. I don't want people seeing it because it's dangerous. And so if you don't think and believe things like this can happen, you don't think electronic devices can reach out and touch you, you're mistaken. So anyway.
Anybody that watches this, share this, get it out.
Yeah.
Let's get this item out to a Zach Bagans or somebody. Let them come put their money to it. They can stay the night at my house with it. They can stay the night at David's. They can fly us out and let them stay in his house with it. Put us in a hotel. We'll let you stay there.
Now, see,
but David and I both are coming on this one.
Oh,
Sorry.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I would
And
have
our
a hard
wives.
time. I would have a hard time walking through his haunted museum, because I react to things so physically. They physically will manifest things in me. You guys have no clue. That's a whole nother podcast.
We got a whole nother podcast about tree knocks coming up. Why knocking on wood is bad. Let's not talk about it now.
Yeah, don't do it, because
It's a superstition. Do not say knocking on wood. That is witchcraft. Look it up. But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
That's the next one. So
because I'm working on something
knocks.
for the guys, and we may do something once I get it done. I've got this thought in my head now. I've got to have time to do it, and So as a matter of fact, I doubt we're going to knock on trees again until I get my new stuff done.
Now we know why stuff was always acting up.
Could be. So
you got to tune in next time for that one, everybody. But again, we have probably one of the most popular haunted items in the world now. It's a guarantee you got to curse something or someone is attached to this, and I could see why. Like I said, if you're a little girl in 1954, 55 getting Elvis Presley's autograph whenever he was the young heartthrob, just now put out That's All Right Mama on the radio.
That's all right, Mama.
And it's a new thing, him kicking and screaming, and,
Elvis the pelvis, that's what they call him.
Yeah. They outlawed him for a reason. Well, tried to, and he blew up. Mm-hmm. We get blacklisted on a lot of stuff, but
We're blowing up.
It's fine. That's fine. Because we'll keep doing us. Everybody keeps doing it.
Yep.
God bless you.
God bless you guys. That's right.
We'll see you next episode. And
hold on to your butts.
Oh, my gosh. I want to film it tonight.